All right, guys, how we doing? Welcome to Rapid Rides. We got a cool river right here for you guys today. We're on the beautiful Toutle River, a river that was forever changed by the eruption of Mount St. Helens back in 1980. So with that being said, there's a lot of weird hazards in the river we're gonna try to avoid. I'll go into that in detail for you guys here in a minute. But first off, does everyone know how to swim? You guys know how to swim? Excellent. All right, cool. So next up, what we got, I'll go over some hazards for you guys. In the state of Washington, there's three main hazards to worry about. There's objects in the river, there's trees, parts of old bridges, train trestles, you'll see as we go along today. There's got what we call a foot entrapment, which is say you're going down the river, floating down the river, you fall out of the raft, and you try to stand up. So let's say my foot gets stuck under this rock right here, I try to stand up, the next thing you know, you're floating face down in the river, all right? So when you fall out of the boat, don't stand up. Everyone got that? Cool. Excellent. So the third main hazard we have out here is hypothermia. Pretty beautiful day today. We provided all you guys with nice thick 4mm wetsuits. It should be pretty warm. If you guys do get cold, let one of us know, let your guide know. We can stop and warm you guys up, or we can simply just paddle more. All right, sounds good so far? Cool. All right, we'll move over here to our raft. Got our nice blue big raft right here. The front of the boat, you don't know what that's called? It's called the bow. All right, this is the stern back here. This is where the guide will be sitting all day. In between here we got thwarts, these little benches. They're not actually benches. If you sit on them, they'll thwart your efforts and you'll fall out of the boat. All right, kind of like an ejection seat. So you're wondering, where do you want to sit in the raft? Not on the benches, obviously, not on the thwarts. You guys see those big black strips along the side here? That's kind of your guide for where to sit. So you're going rafting, there's three main ways to stay in the boat. First off, you're gonna make sure you sit in nice and square right here, kind of quarterback stance, kind of shoulders squared, ready for action. Your foot, whatever side you're gonna be on, your front foot, you're gonna tuck your toes under this thwart, all right? And your back heel is gonna be under the thwart behind you. So that way, if you're bouncing along, you hit a wave, you fall out of the boat a little bit, but you can still pull yourself back in. Right, and if you sit right here kind of square on top of the black strip, you can actually reach into the water. You're directly over the water, you can reach into the water. Some of you guys might be a little nervous, that's okay, we'll get more comfortable as we go along, but really what you don't want to do is sit in here because you can't reach the water, and you hit a rock or hit a wave and you bounce way out of the boat. Make sense? Cool. All right, so with your feet tucked under here, the whole goal is like if you do bounce out of the boat, it's not the end of the world. We're trying to keep you guys in the boat. It's our goal today. But if you do bounce out, you want to be able to have quick release with your foot. So you're not twisting your ankle and twisting your knee, really trying to stay in the boat. All right, cool. Moving along, we got our paddle here. What do you guys think this is called? It's called the blade. All right, this is called your shaft. It's called your shaft. This right here is your T-grip. Okay. So depending on what side of the boat you're on, you can switch around with your friends later if you want to, but whatever side of the boat you're on, that hand's gonna be halfway down the shaft like that, and your other hand's gonna be covering the T-grip, all right? So kind of halfway down the shaft. You don't want to be way down here because then it's, really awkward, kind of wasted energy. Don't be up here because then there's not too much control. And with the paddle, you want to keep the whole blade in the water. In this case, it's the yellow blade. So keep the yellow part of the paddle in the water. And what you want to do is you want to reach in front of you and use your full body to pull back like that. All right, that's the proper forward stroke. Reaching in front of you and pulling back to your hip. Back stroke, just the opposite. Reach behind you and do a big sit-up. Okay, notice the whole time the blade was vertical and the blade was in the water, the paddle was vertical. Try to really focus on getting about halfway down the shaft like that. You don't want to be what we call windmilling. See all that wasted efforts in the air instead of in the water. I took my mother canoeing the other day and she was doing this stroke. We put it in front of you and just kind of watch it float past you. That doesn't really do much either, all right? And you can make fun of your friends if they're doing that also. Yeah, so three main ways to stay in the boat that we just went over is your feet, right here, tuck your feet in, your seat, and your paddle, okay? If you're going through rapids today and your guide calls a stroke, you might be kind of nervous, but if you give you that stroke that your guide calls, the chances are a lot higher that you'll stay in the boat. All right, make sense, people? Cool, excellent. Moving along, I'm gonna say we do fall out of the raft. Went over it earlier. What's the first thing you guys want to do if you do fall out of the boat? All right, you want to keep your feet up. Okay, so put your feet up like that. So you're going down the river, keep your feet up, and that avoids the foot enchantment that we went over earlier. Really, what you want to do, you know, the whole goal is to get back to the raft. All right, so feet up at first, kind of get your bearings, see where you are, and then turn on your stomach and actually actively swim back to wherever you're going. All right, so you want to be an active part of your own self-rescue. Okay, so let's say that you do fall out of the boat. The guide's saying, hey, swim that way, swim that way. Right? The guide's never going to be pointing to a dangerous spot. We're going to be pointing to whatever's positive. Okay? So we're yelling at you guys to swim. We want to keep swimming those directions. Alright? Alright, so you're rafting along, your whole raft flipped over. First thing you want to do when you hit the water, what is it?
Keep your feet up.
Exactly. Keep your feet up like we went over. And then turn on your stomach and swim back to the boat. Alright, you want to be an active part of your own self-rescue. Only pick your feet up, kind of get your bearings. Don't put your feet down ever in the river. Just keep your feet up, get your bearings, turn on your stomach, swim back to the boat. At that point, the guide will be on top of the boat, flipping the raft back over. We got these nice handy dandy flip lines in here. The guide will climb up. It'll hook on to the D-ring right here, the flip line. And then the guide will actually be on top, flipping the boat back over like that. All right. And at that point, we will start getting everyone back in. I'll demonstrate to you guys the proper way to get back in. Want to be a guinea pig, Lori?
Sure.
Excellent. So let's say that your friend's in the river, they're swimming along. You know, you want to get them back in. You're going to see these D-rings. See how Lori has her hands on either side of the D-ring? That's the strongest part of the rope that's going around the perimeter. You dunk them in the river, and then you pull them up on top of you. All right? Cool. Excellent. So let's say that Lori's swimming along, and it gets a little farther away from the boat. First thing I'll say is, hey, Lori, swim back over here. All right, try to keep it simple. Reach with your voice. Encourage your friend to come back to you. Swim back over here, swim back over here. Let's say she's a little bit farther away when she's swimming. All right, you know, we're going through rapids. She might get a little farther away. She's still within reach, but it's getting a little farther. You can reach out with your paddle. She'll grab onto the T-grip. You pull her back to you, and then pull them back in the boat. All right, so try it again. So grab the T-grip. You guys notice how you grab right above the blade. All right, so if you grab the end of the blade, give it a little yank. And then your friend is in the river still and you lost your paddle. All right, then you really got to rescue. So hold on to the T-grip, pull on above the blade, pull them back in the boat. All right, cool. So we got that. She fell out. She swam back to the boat, or she's trying to at this point, trying to swim back to the boat. You're trying to reach to her. You try to reach to her with your paddle, and she's too far away then. Everyone's going to be working together under the guide's commands. We'll be working together to paddle together to save your friend. All right, go paddle over to your friend, save your friend. Let's say she's getting farther and farther away. Another cool rescue tool we have is what we call a throw bag. All right, so I got my handy dandy throw bag right here. I'm gonna chuck it at her. I'll show you guys how to do this. So you will not be throwing the throw bag, but you might be receiving the other end. So the guide will be throwing the throw bag. Say, hey, rope. Bam. You guys see that? She grabbed the rope, puts it over her shoulder, and starts to pull. So let's say Lori's swimming farther away, the guide grabs the throw bag. We're gonna throw the rope at you guys. Say rope, rope, rope. Bam. Check that out. She grabbed the bag. All right, that's good. So she grabbed the bag, but I'm pulling the rope, and she's gonna go all the way to the end of the rope. The bag's gonna rip, and she's gonna have 70 feet of rope tangled around her going down the river. Many reasons you don't want to do that, obviously, is you got a bunch of rope around you go down a river, especially here on the Toutle River. There's all kinds of old pieces of rebar, all kinds of train trestles, bridge fragments, all kinds of stuff that rope can get caught on. And if you're a part of it, it's not going to be a good day. All right. So make sure you grab the rope, turn on your shoulder, and the guide will pull you back in. A couple things to do with this rope is never wrap it around any appendage, your arm, your neck. Don't do anything weird like that, because then the rope will come tight, and you don't want, you know, tight rope around your arm or your neck, because you can imagine what would happen. All right, anybody have any questions about that part? You guys feel comfortable, ready to go rafting? Showed you the parts of the raft, kind of brushed over how to paddle, showed you how to swim, showed you what to do if you fall out. So the last thing you want to remember when you fall in the river, Lori?
Keep your feet up.
Keep your feet up, exactly. All right, anyone have any questions, concerns, any medical issues? You can tell me individually if you need to. If not, then let's head to the river. All right, see you guys down there.